There's about less than a week left for the Gundam Seed Astray event and SD Gundam G Generation Eternal, and I don't want you guys missing out on something amazing that event can give you. What's up, everybody? Fortexfiend here. Welcome back to another video on SD Gundam G Generation Eternal, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the 2 farmable SSRs and why everybody that plays this game should make it a goal to fully max limit break and level up those units, because they are just that worth it for free units. So we're going to go ahead and dive right into the game here, and I'm going to go ahead and go into upgrade. I've already filtered through the seed series, so that way I can also do some comparisons. This is on my whale account, okay? And the reason why is because I do have these units built up on my whale account, and I want to compare them to the Gacha SSRs too, because these are considered free SSRs, and I think it's important to show that, so that way you guys, have an idea of just how good they really are for free units. So the 2 units that I'm talking about are Gundam Astray Blue Frame 2nd L and Gundam Astray Gold Frame Amatsu. Both of these units can be currently earned for free through the development tree and as well as rewards from the current event. And by now, if you guys are not farming that event, if you're still re-rolling, I'm looking at you re-rollers, please play the game and try your best to really get these units and get them fully max limit broken and also leveled up. The event will give you all the materials that you can earn to be able to do that. And trust me, for free units, these are both totally worth it. So I'm going to go ahead and go over why Astray Blue is like really good, and then we'll take a look at Amats, and then afterwards I'm going to compare them to some Gacha counterparts, so that way you guys have an idea of just how good they are. So one of the things that I love about Gundam Astray Blue Frame is, 1, it's a supporter unit, and 2, if you go into its skills, it has access to 2 debuffs that to me are very unique, that this unit has access to these 2 forms of debuffs. So we go to its 2nd skill, which is Tactical Armed Sword Form. It has access to a debuff that inflicts damage taken from physical weapons up by 25%. So you know how most supporter units will have like a defense down or something like that, which, is pretty good in its own right. This one amplifies the amount of damage an enemy takes from a specific weapon type damage, which is extremely powerful. And especially if you set this up properly on hard enemies such as an Eternal Road, you can really rack up the amount of damage that you could do when you actually attack that enemy unit. Not only that, but its other skill, its 3rd skill, which is Tactical Arms Gatling Form, when you have it fully leveled up right over here, it inflicts damage taken from special weapons up by 25%. So not only does it have the physical debuff, but it also has the special debuff. And what that makes this unit do is have a lot of really good flexibility. So you could literally slot this unit in as like a supporter, and there's a lot of units that could use like physical attacks and units that have special attacks. So it's a super flexible unit. Not only that, it has good move at 5, and its stats are actually not too bad for a free-to-play unit. And then its abilities are, they're pretty standard, I would say, but they're also good. It has increased max energy level 2 and also increased mobility, which we've kind of found out that the mobility stat is going to be your speed stat. So later on, when they release that auto PvP, which is supposed to be at the end of the month, this could be a way for you to build up some support units that have all these really powerful debuffs. So this unit is great, and again, it's a free unit. There's no reason why you should not get it, whether you're a whale or whether you're free to play. This unit is worth investing in, and you can also use this unit in any of the seed-related content in Eternal Road, such as the new content that we got, which is the Expert and the Hard stages. These are fantastic units to have. So we're going to go ahead and now take a look at Astray Gold Frame Amats. So this is going to be an attacker unit, and for an attacker unit, I mean, it's pretty crazy in my opinion what it gets. So first of all, it gets an AoE attack. And we know that AoE attacks don't really have the highest, power modifier, but still, it has access to an AoE attack for a free unit, which is really good. And as you can see right here, I can get mine to level 4. I'm almost at the level 5 mark. I just got to do a little bit more farming. So it gets up to 4,200 in power when you're able to do that. Not only that, but it also has, a melee skill, a close combat skill, which is pretty good in its own right. But as you can see right there, the added effect is it has critical damage increase by 15%, which is really strong. So if this thing does a critical hit, or if you have a way to influence its critical hit rate and it deals critical damage, you're dealing 15% more, which is really good. Its nuke effect, I would say, is a pretty standard effect, but I mean, the closer you are to the enemy, the greater the weapon power increase, which to me, I mean, if any of these attacks have something like that, it's really, really good. So this is a very in-your-face type of a unit. And the power on that is at 5100. I mean, it is a free unit, but still, that's not too bad for a free unit if you think about it. Then afterwards, it has access to this ability right over here, which has a 4400 power modifier, but a pretty decent energy cost because at level 5, it only costs 24. So it's a bit energy efficient. So this unit is great. It also has movement 5, and if you take a look at its abilities, it has increased attack and increased accuracy. One way that I could definitely see this unit being used really well is, let's say you go to Eternal Road Expert level 2. Or let's say you use it in Expert level 3, for example. You could use like Setsuna with this. Setsuna has Chance Step twice, and this thing can really, really deal a lot of damage. It has that AoE, and if you get that kill off with Setsuna, because in Stage 3 of Eternal Road, the expert version, you have all those mobs. You could, plan it out to where like you take out one enemy and take out another one, and then afterwards nuke with the AoE. You can do a lot of really cool setups with this unit, which is really, really good. So for a free farmable unit, these are really, really good units to invest in. And with just less than a week left before the event leaves, I highly encourage everybody to try and farm it up. If you can't do expert, you could do hard mode. And the hard mode, really, the ratio, I think it's like 90 boss tickets and to whatever the amount of medals that you get. It's a pretty good ratio. So if you can only farm hard, that's perfectly fine. You'll have more than enough time, but don't miss out on these units. Now, I want to do a little bit of comparison here. So we're going to compare Gundam Astray Blue Frame to Strike Rouge, which is the new supporter SSR that's in the banner, right? So if we take a look at it here, right, we see their HP. Blue Frame actually has a little bit more HP, whereas Strike Rouge just has a little bit more attack. When it comes to mobility, well, I do have a modifier on here, so we should remove the modifier. Okay, there we go. So it has 8,899. This one has 7,000. So Strike Rouge, obviously being a gacha unit, is going to have the better stats. But as you could see, they're fairly comparable. And with Strike Rouge's debuffs, so Strike Rouge has 4 weapon skills. Again, gacha unit. And let's take a look at its abilities here. Okay, so Strike Rouge also has the damage taken from special weapons up to 20%. And I think at level 5, that goes up to 30. Let's go ahead and confirm that right here. Okay, so it's 5% better compared to Blue Frame Astray, but still, it is a gacha unit being compared to a free unit, so you could kind of see the value that you have with that free unit. So let's say you didn't pull at all on the current banner, or you did some pulls and you didn't get Strike Freedom, but you at least happen to get this SSR. You could kind of see the comparisons right there as to why, the free unit is actually of good value. And it also has access to the defense down 20%. So unlike Blue Frame Astray, this unit has the generic 20% defense down, and then it also has one form of a debuff in the form of like a specific weapon damage, whereas Blue Frame Astray has those 2 debuffs where it applies to like specific weapon damage. So very comparable. Obviously, the gacha unit is going to be a little bit better, but for a free unit, that's actually pretty good. Now we're going to go ahead and compare the Gold Frame Amatsu to Regenerate Gundam. So right off the bat, the difference here is Regenerate Gundam doesn't have an AoE attack, okay? If we take a look at its weapon skills, the ranges are about the same. The highest range it has is, 3? So let's take a look at its most powerful skill. Okay, so its most powerful skill, the closer you are, same thing as Amatsu. And as you can see right here, the maximum power at level 5 is at 5175 with an energy cost of 38. And if we go back to Gold Frame Amatsu, 5160, that's a 15-point difference. And again, we're comparing a free unit to a gacha unit. So that's not that much of a difference at all. And as you can see right here, this one actually has up to a 15% increase the closer you are to an enemy. So technically, this skill right here could potentially out DPS the Regenerate Gundam, which is a gacha unit. Now, Regenerate Gundam, I would say, does have the advantage when it comes to the unit abilities. It has the phase shift armor, it has the energy recovery, and that increased attack, whereas Gold Frame Amatsu only has increased attack and increased accuracy. And if I'm saying this incorrectly, is it Amatsu or Amatsu? I'm not sure, but I'm just saying it as how I see it. But anyways, yeah, these are pretty comparable units. I would say I would give the advantage over to the free unit for this one this time over the Regenerate Gundam, even though Regenerate Gundam to me has the better abilities. I mean, the amount of weapon skills, first of all, you have one additional weapon skill with Gold Frame Amatsu or Amats, and its most powerful skill is only 15 points lower than the Regenerate Gundam, and it has a higher percentage modifier the closer you are to an enemy. And if we take a look at their actual stats, so this one has a 9726 attack. Okay, this one's at 10,000, so it's about a 300 point difference, but it's not that, to me, that's not that much of a difference. And this one has 7,200 HP, this one has 70,000. So again, as you're seeing right here, not that big of a difference. If we take a look at their move, ooh, okay, so this one's movement's only at 4 for a Gacha unit, and this one's at 5. So I don't know about you guys. I would, if I were to choose between these two, I might have to take the Gold Frame Amatsu over the Regenerate Gundam. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below, but in the comments. But I mean, that's the comparison right there. We're comparing a free unit to a Gacha unit, and the free unit does have a little bit of a leg up in certain categories. So again, highly encourage you guys to go to that event right over here into event and farm this up before the event goes away. I don't want anyone missing out on those 2 exclusive SSRs that you could get for free, especially if you're a free-to-play player and you're not planning on pulling on a lot of banners, because you got to be, you got to be planning out your resources properly, save for your favorites, right? Get these free units. They're so good. They're very, very strong, and you could use them even on the hard content that is currently available right now in the game. So please farm up these units, guys. Trust me, it's totally worth it. All right, guys, well, hopefully I got my point across. Let me know if you guys have already built these 2 amazing SSRs and what you guys think. How do you guys think they compare to the Gacha SSRs? Do you like them? Do you think they're better in some ways? Do you enjoy using them? I'd love to know your thoughts down below. Thank you guys again for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and stay blessed, everybody.